You never say no to any responsibility that comes your way. You're present for everyone, at home, at work, for friends. You're still functioning and happy, but there is a change that you have noticed. You are more irritable than before, and even small things make you snap. You feel less sure about yourself and less sharper than you were earlier. You are more withdrawn and prefer to be left alone. This is a new version of you, and you miss your old self. You are someone else on the inside and someone else outside, and you don't know why. It might be a silent burnout. If you're a man in your late 30s or your 40s carrying responsibility, family, work, parents, financial pressure, and life looks fine from the outside, but something feels off inside, this conversation is for you. Burnout doesn't always look dramatic, sometimes it looks like a quiet withdrawal. Today, I want to talk about what silent burnout really is, why it happens at this stage of life, and why most men don't recognize it, and how to interrupt it and do something about it before it escalates. So let's dive in. Welcome to the Resilience Pulse, personal mastery for men undergoing pressure and challenges. Burnout is not just emotional, it's physiological. That means you feel it in your body. When stress remains elevated for long periods of time, cortisol levels in the body stays high. Recovery cycles reduce. Sleep quality drops and your brain's executive function weakens. There is something called as a functional freeze. You are active externally, but internally you feel numb. And when dopamine drops with a continuous giving, a continuous output, without a reset, without a renewal, our motivation fades, it comes down. Burnout is sustained giving and sustained output without a reset. Why burnout happens? In your 20s and early 30s, growth was linear, which means that the more effort you put in, the more was the reward. That was a blueprint for success for all of us. In your late 30s and 40s, what happens? Responsibility increases, competition increases, expectations increase, but the recovery time decreases. So now you are carrying more, but recovering less. And add to that the hormonal shift that's happened, the family responsibilities, and the pressures of the different roles that you're playing. The blueprint that served you in your 20s and 30s and that built success earlier now creates an overload. And now to the question, why do men don't recognize it? Because strong men are conditioned to endure. You are taught from childhood, don't complain, don't burden others, handle it all alone. So when burnout happens, you interpret that as I need to push harder, I'm losing discipline, I cannot fail. So instead of slowing down, what you do is push through and try to accelerate. And that adds to the load. And what's the cost of ignoring the silent burnout? The danger is not the sudden collapse, it's a gradual disconnection. Your irritability damages relationships. Your withdrawal creates an emotional distance at work, with your friends, with your loved ones. Impulsive decisions threaten this stability. Have you ever had the experience of making a decision, an impulsive decision, especially a financial one? During the silent burnout, that's a real threat, impulsive decisions. Chronic stress harms your body. If you learn about stress, if you Google it, you'll know that the stress that we carry, especially the stress that is of a chronic nature, it impacts each and every part of our body, each and every system of our body. Be it the digestive system, be it the cardiovascular system, be it the nervous system, anything. Stress has an impact on each and every system. So, in essence, you don't explode all of a sudden. You slowly and slowly you just fade. So, what can be done about it? You need to reset at three levels. One is the physiological reset. Check your vitamin D, your B12, and get a lots and lots of sunlight. And when you are stuck in some activity, do the breathing exercise, double inhale and a long exhale. That what that does is it instantly resets your body from the situation that you are in, from the cycle of the burnout. The second level of reset that is needed is the psychological reset. Write down whatever you're carrying. Journal every day. Write down all the things that you feel you are carrying for too long or you carried for that day. And from that list, just strike off the items where it's not your direct responsibility. These are the items you must offload to somebody else. No point in keeping it in your list and taking that burden on yourself. And do one activity with zero productivity value. You do it just for the sake of doing it. Maybe watering the plants, or maybe playing with your pet if you have one, or maybe just staring out of the window, just gazing the traffic on the road or the stars in the sky. Anything with a zero productivity value, where you don't have anything attached to it. And the third level of reset is the social reset. Speak to one trusted person, a friend, a family member, or a coach, and join a space where you are not the strong one, where you are not expected to be responsible, and you are just one among the crowd. Burnout is not solved by motivation, it's always solved by a reset. In a survey that I conducted on 100 men, I got responses on various aspects. But the most visible and the most telling pattern was the response to the question, do you think you carry too much? And from the response, about 90% said yes. And most of these men answered when asked about their coping mechanism that they push through. Now you see the issue. Men carry too much. They know they carry too much. And what is a coping mechanism? It's not a reset. They just push through. So, what did we discuss in this video? If you don't remember anything else, just remember this. One, silent burnout does not look like a breakdown. It's not a complete or it's not a sudden breakdown. It looks like a quiet withdrawal, a slow fade. Two, it happens when responsibility increases and we carry too much. We take on too much of responsibility even when we have other things going on. We do that, but the recovery decreases. Silent burnout happens at then when responsibility increases but recovery decreases. Third, it's not weakness. It's a nervous system overload. And fourth point, when it is nervous system overload, pushing harder makes it worse. And we tend to do that more, push harder. Pushing harder makes it worse. And what restores strength and what we need to do is a reset. And the fifth point is awareness is the first step to reclaim yourself. We have come to the end of this video. If this resonated, just remember you are not alone. You are not broken and you are not failing. It's just that you are overloaded. And overload can and will be reversed. This is the Resilience Pulse. If this conversation added value, please consider subscribing and do like this video. We'll continue exploring personal mastery in the upcoming videos, where we'll calmly and honestly explore each aspect of this and how we can get better and accelerate in our life, get forward in our life without burnout. Take care.